This wedding will get paid off in Jesus' name. Don't know where the funds finna come from, but he's already working on it. Welcome back to my channel. If you're true to this, not new to this, welcome to the party. But it's first time here, welcome you one time, welcome you two times, welcome you three times in Zuri community. We're just happy to join us on this marvelous day. And a marvelous day indeed. Welcome back. Whew, I don't know why this took so much breath out of me, but anywho, so in today's video I'm giving you guys a raw up-to-date wedding series update, I guess you can say. If you've been keeping up with my series Forever in the Making, I'll make sure to link the playlist down below. I've been bringing you guys along step by step, but I kind of want to break down some things that may not have been mentioned in those videos and just kind of where we are up until this point, just to kind of get you guys up to date. And I do want to document my wedding series just for myself as well, and for anyone that might be going through this process as well. I see you, okay, because it can be rough out here. But yeah, so let's get into this video. But before I forget, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. And also comment down below what are your favorite things about this wedding series so far. Just to let you know, if you see me looking over here, it's because I have my handy dandy iPad that has everything that I want to talk about just to keep me on track. So do bear with me, because one thing about me, I can ramble, but when I get to rambling, I'm being talking about what I need to talk about, and then it's like, girl, what's the whole point? So first I want to get into our current planning process and where we are up to date. I do have a wedding planner. Okay, I do have a wedding planner. I'm not going to lie to you. I knew going into this engagement that I wanted a wedding planner because I know how I am, and I get easily overstressed, sometimes to the point to where I don't want to do anything. And with a wedding, you can't really afford to do that because there is a timeline. But shout out to my friend Maya, who's also my maid of honor, for hooking me up with my wedding planner, Emerald. That's my girl, baby. Emerald is a blessing, okay? But the reason why I have Emerald as my wedding planner, believe it or not, my best friend Maya, she had entered me into a giveaway on Emerald's page back in December of 2024, and I was a winner. And I was like, wow, I hardly ever win anything on social media, so that was kind of surprising. But hey, I just believe that God works mysterious ways, and that's what happened. But in terms of up to date right now, I currently have pretty much most of my vendors booked. I have my bridal party already assigned. We're working on the bachelorette party, but the next big thing that I need to focus on is dress shopping. It's currently July, and I did not want to not go dress shopping before July, but it's very much giving the beginning of August is when I will be going dress shopping, and I kind of have to be intentional. And obviously I don't want to rush dress shopping experience, but that also means I have about like 9 months, because our wedding will be in May. But I have about like 9 months before the wedding, and I really wanted to purchase my dress 10 months minimum, but I digress. So that's kind of where we're at right now in terms of what's next. After the dress shopping, I have to look through my little wedding planner that I have and talk to my wedding planner. I want to say, besides like stacking up the money for the vendors and stuff, working on the invitations will be later this year. But because I have my pictures from the engagement photo shoot, definitely check out that vlog. I think it'll be out after this video. I want to start working on the invitations to like make sure I have all the arts and crafts that I need, because I am a DIY bride. Hello. Just to kind of save some money. Plus I also do content full time, so it's like, girl, we can make content, we can enjoy the wedding process, and also I'm a perfectionist and I like to do things my way, and I just feel like if I'm very hands-on with the DIY portion, it'll come out the way that I wanted to without me having to like waste money because it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. But one thing I will recommend, even though I don't necessarily use it all the time, is a wedding planner book. I got this from, is it Wuso Bride? They're a black owned business, and oh my gosh, you guys, I absolutely love this wedding planner. But it has different tabs on the sides, like where to get started. It has like records, it has like self-care, contacts. So on the side it has a tab called bride type, and it will give you tips and tricks from previous brides, but also information since they are like a wedding planner business, which I found to be really useful. And I also love how they have the timeline to kind of help you kind of gauge what you should and should not be doing within that time frame, if that makes sense. So yes, I definitely love this wedding planner book. I will leave it down below. It has helped me a lot throughout this process. So the next most important thing besides me having a wedding planner that I knew I needed to get onto pretty quickly is organization. So I did create, me and my fiance, a wedding Gmail, and with that wedding Gmail, that's the email that we give out to our vendors. Our family can use that email. They have to email us any questions or anything once it comes time to sending the invitations out. But then also I really like the Google Drive aspect of having our Google account. So let me see, I'm about to pull it up right now, and I created different folders to keep everything organized. So I have a folder that was for our 2026 engagement shoot, which was at the Ivy's Hotel. The pictures were tea. I have another folder that's like bridal party things, one for contracts, one for like our wedding savings, which I'll get into all these separately, and then I have one for the wedding vendors, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So first thing first, with the engagement photo shoot at the Ivy's Hotel, in this folder I just have the invoices for like the deposits that I made, and I also have the contracts that we had to sign, just to kind of keep that together for when we did go to the hotel. If they need anything, I could pull up quick, fast, in a hurry. For the bridal party tings, I'm just so happy with how the bridal party brunch turned out. But in that folder I have all my, I made like a PowerPoint. Definitely check out that vlog if you want to see the whole process. But it just has basically like my PowerPoint that has what I wanted in the bridal party boxes. It has my DIY projects. It has the color scheme and the layout for the brunch, just to kind of keep all things bridal party related. And then for the wedding savings though, for this one, I created two things in here. I have a wedding planner budget, and I'll have like a screen recording on the side so you guys can see that. But I have like my wedding planner budget, which pretty much is, I actually found this on Etsy if I'm not mistaken. If I can find it, I'll leave the link below. But it kind of has pretty much everything. Again, it has like the wedding checklist, it has your venue planning, wedding vendors, your guest list, seating plan, honeymoon planner. I use this one primarily more than the book one, simply because it's electronic and I can use it on the go. I also have a wedding savings Google Slides, and in that it has all the vendors that we have, and I have their name, I have how much we paid for the deposit, I have the remaining balance, I have when the final balance is due, and then I also have like how much we need to save each month. And then like on the other side I have like a savings tracker picture, because I'm like a visual person, okay? Like I like to have things organized and I want to visually see where we are with like savings and stuff. So there's that. And then I also have like a bill payment schedule template where I list out every month how much we need to save, and then on that we'll just like check it off. Because I know specifically for the wedding venue and catering, those two have halfway deposits that are kind of large. So just to make sure that we're saving enough to meet those deposits on time, I definitely wanted to make sure that I separated those a little more in detail, if that makes sense. So that's wedding savings. I know it's a lot, girl. So next we're gonna get into contracts. So contracts is pretty much all of our vendors. So we have our catering, we have our photography. This is also the people that we booked so far. We have catering, we have photography, we have videography, we have our wedding cake person, we have our decor and florals, which is Emerald, who's also our wedding planner. We have a DJ, I have my wedding makeup person, we have our venue, and I also have my wedding hairstylist and like the bridesmaid stylist as well. I need to add that on here after I get the quote back. But yeah, so we pretty much have almost everything booked. I think the main thing next is a content creator. As a content creator, hello baby, I need all the angles, I need all the footage, baby. I know how I want it done, so I'm very much scouting who I can see that like sees a vision and is able to like execute it. And I also want to do the really trendy videos, like I am glad to see my husband, I'm happy to see my husband, you know, little videos like that. So yeah, that pretty much covers vendors, that covers the organization part of how we got started in a sense. I can already tell this video might be a little long because I'm going to be very in-depth, but it's okay. I want to like really put this out there to lay everything down on the ground. So next I want to talk about the vendors that we booked and how we chose them in a sense. So when it came to the venue, we had our venue tour with the one that we chose, I want to say back in December of 2024. But before that we had toured two venues, And the first one was the Lumen House. That one, it was really cute. It was just kind of small and compact. I couldn't visualize in that moment how the setup would be, how the people would be able to fit in there. It is, I don't know, I just couldn't really visualize it. And as much as I was looking on their Instagram to try to figure out how things could be, I again just could not visualize it. On top of the price they were asking for, I was like, baby, no ma'am, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. The next one, I cannot remember the name of it, but I have like little pictures and stuff on the side. But that one, it was cute, but again, the price was just not giving for the space. Not gonna hold you. I did like how it was in one big space, so it had upstairs and downstairs, and I liked how everything was kind of separated. So the place where the ceremony would be, those chairs were there, and it was really cute, really beautiful. I could really see our color scheme and decor fitting that space perfectly. And then to the right, it had like the bar area, it had the reception area, and that was really cute. Again, I could actually visualize it there, and I liked how the suites were upstairs and the cocktail area was upstairs too. I wasn't happy with it, that makes sense. Like I could kind of see, particularly like with the color scheme, because the colors that we're going with is white, gold, tan, and like sage green. I could really see that walking in because the decor that they had up already catered to those colors. But yeah, it just didn't have my heart, I'm telling you. And then also, I'm not gonna lie, the parking was something else that we took into consideration with the Lumen House and the one that I'm talking about now that I cannot remember. So the one that I can't remember, it was on the west side of Charlotte, but the parking was like one parking lot, and so we did not, I'm telling you right now, nobody would have been there, because you also have to think about the vendors, catering, they have to bring their vehicles as well. Like, it's not just us. And I was like, there's no way everybody gonna fit in there. And I don't think we told you guys this, but we have our guest list at a hard 100 people. Okay, if it was up to me, maybe we would have 50. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm very much like a micro wedding type of person. But my fiance JB has a big family, and obviously we both have people that have supported us through this whole journey that we want to bring. So 50 would not have been sufficient, I guess you could say. But for me, I was like, baby, my road dogs, that's all I really needed. Everybody else, it's not like I don't want you there, but seeing how these prices are, I was willing to only have the 50. But we have 100, so yeah. I also think I told you guys this, for our bridal party we have 7 and 7, and technically we have 6 bridesmaids and 6 groomsmen, and then we have our 1 maid of honor and 1 best man. But yeah, 14 is our bridal party, which is a little big. I personally I don't know, I kind of saw myself only having like 10 as a bridal party, 5 and 5. But we have a lot of really close friends, and it's like, okay, side tangent from what I was talking about, it's like you don't really truly, I guess, ponder and like realize and like really appreciate who's in your circle until it's time to like start planning. And it's like, okay, I know I can depend on this person to be in the bridal party. I know they can do this, like I know this, that, and third about this person. And then just like also think about like your history with your friends. It's like, wow, these are my girls. Anywho, so that's pretty much how we went about picking out our venue. Now when it came to videography, oh baby, I already knew it was gonna be BJ Productions, period. I think it was last year before JB proposed, I had saw one of BJ's videos kind of going viral on TikTok, and I was like, baby, that's who I need, okay? And he was located in Charlotte. I said, T. But again, that's like someone that is in the creative space. When I have a vision, I have a vision, and I need to achieve this vision because it's like, I don't see it any other way. And through BJ's work, I could see that he would get the vision, he would understand the message, he would understand storytelling. Like, I just knew that he was the real deal, okay? And then prices were real deal too. I'm not gonna hold you, but I already knew when it came to videography and photography, we were going to spend a bit of money. I'm not gonna hold you. I already knew and was prepared for that. So when I saw his prices, I was like, bet, I pretty much figured. And then for photography, Candace, my girl Candace, so sweet, so sweet. But we actually found her through BJ because we asked him for a recommendation, and he recommended Candace, and I was like, okay, period, T. And yeah, they really hooked us up with our engagement shoot. Definitely check out those pictures and videos on my Instagram, but I'm also gonna be posting the behind the scenes the next video after this, so be on the lookout for that. When it came to catering, I will say, it's not that I'm not content with the catering, it's just that I personally would have preferred to hand pick someone, but because of the venue that we are going with, they have recommended vendors. And so with that process, our wedding planner was going back and forth with the venue to like see, okay, who do they recommend. She would send us the recommendations, their menu pricing, we would get quotes and stuff. Once we found a pricing that we were kind of content with paying, then we had our food tasting. Definitely check that out if you haven't. And surprisingly enough, the food tasting went really well. There's a few items that we had to switch out. I actually need to reach out to Emerald to see if we're able to taste the things that we switched out, just to make sure that we want to lock it in. But I also know closer to the date, they actually solidify our number count, and maybe they'll do that there. I'm not too sure. But yeah, with catering, we secured that through our vendor because they only recommend certain vendors for the venue, if that makes sense. And surprisingly enough, 2 birds with 1 stone, my wedding planner Emerald is also a decor, what's the word, decor florist is her expertise as well. And so I'm really excited about that. I want to, I guess while we're on that, talk about what it is that she will be doing decor wise, since I did mention that I'm doing DIY stuff, but we'll get to what I'm going to do DIY in a little bit. I'm just going to mention what is included in her decor. So for the decor with Emerald, she's going to have the tablecloths for the tables, an aisle runner, and she's also going to do like a candle assortment down the aisle that we will repurpose for the ceremony. This also includes my bouquet, the bridesmaids bouquet, the boutonnieres, the corsages for I think my dad and his dad, and then it has like flower arrangements. It has, oh, the floral arch. I'm super excited about the floral arch. And then it also has like some small and large floral arrangements and gold vases. Like, she'll be doing most of the setting up, but once I saw those prices, I might as well do a lot more of the decor on my own and then provide it with her for her to decorate on the day of, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when we saw the venue, we saw it like it was like sunset to at night, so it was perfect. Like, that's what really sold us, honestly, truly, immediately, because I didn't really see myself having an outdoor wedding, just being honest with you, especially someone with natural hair. But once we like saw the whole venue from, again, sunset to nightfall, it was just beautiful, and that's how we fell in love with it. And I wish that we would have had more time to reflect on everything that was included in the price and the venue. Again, I'm in love with our venue, so it's not so much that I want another venue, but if I could go back in time and do a little more research, I would definitely look for venues that include catering, a wedding planner, most of the, maybe not decor in a sense, but like, you know, the chairs and stuff of that nature. I wish that we would have found something that included that in the final price, as opposed to having to, venue is only X, Y, and Z, and then we have to outsource catering and wedding planner and all these other things, which I mean, it's fine because I love who we have on our team, but it definitely would have like saved us a little coin, if that makes sense. Okay, a part that's a little like, I don't want to say I'm ignoring it, but I'm really just like, this is all you got, like, you got this, is our wedding budget. So if you know anything about weddings in general, or if you've been scrolling on TikTok and you see people make jokes about the wedding budget, when I tell you that's real, that is real, okay? Like, you think you have a wedding budget in mind, and then once everything starts coming together, it's like, oh, that don't really cover what we need or what we want. So our wedding budget has had to increase, but I will say that we are very content with the vision that we have and seeing it come to life and the pieces that we have to put in place to achieve this vision. So it's not so much like, oh my gosh, like, but it's like, I mean, hey, this is what we gotta do. We kind of knew it going in. So again, that's where like the wedding savings Google Drive that I have and stuff comes into play, with making sure that we're meeting our monetary goals to be able to pay these people when the time comes, okay? Because nothing would actually upset me more than for us to not have the funds when it's time to pay for something and then they like drop us or something and then scrambling around. That really, I do not need those type of problems. But again, I already knew that I would splurge on videography and photography. Those are my 2 non-negotiables for splurging. Like, once I have somebody and once I see the pricing of their packages and I already know what type of coverage I want, baby, I'm not gonna say numbers don't mean a thing, but I will do what I need to do to secure this bag. I promise you, like, that's just me. That's just me, okay? So So those two I already knew that we would splurge on, but where we're kind of, I guess, cutting back on is like DIYing. We're doing our own save the dates, our own invitations. I'm gonna go over all the decor we're doing. Whew, sorry, child, we get to talking a little too much. Throat be wanting to go out on you. But as I was saying, so of course, because we knew we were gonna splurge on some things, that means we have to kind of DIY and cut back on some other things. So I knew I personally would love to like DIY the decor and like the save the dates, the invitations. Like I just know, like when I have a vision, I would do anything that it takes to secure that vision. And also our wedding planner Emerald has been very helpful with like sending over links and stuff to things that we can purchase on our own to help with the DIY process. So yeah, DIY is something that we've done to cut back with the pricing. What's something else? Also our guest list. Not gonna hold you, in a perfect world we would definitely have more than 100 guests. Not even gonna hold you, like our circle is very big. We're very blessed to have a community of people that love and adore us both, and that also love and adore God and like are praying for us, you know, just really meditating on our behalf to God. But it's just, again, finances, like, okay, this is all we can really do in a sense for this and what we're willing to do. So that's kind of a downside of, you know, some of the things we've had to cut back on with wedding planning. But yeah, I think pretty much covers that. So like I mentioned before, the next thing on the wedding planning timeline, I guess you can say, is finding a dress. Now I have been looking online and I found 2 boutiques that I want to book. My thing is I want to book at least 2 or 3 on the same day and have my people just have a day of like trying on dresses and like fellowshipping, as opposed to like kind of trying to separate everything. So I do have an idea of the dress that I want. And I have an idea of where I want to go to purchase those dresses. So I feel like the process won't be as tedious when it comes to finding a dress. I feel like I say that now, and then once I get into the dressing room, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Nothing fits, nothing's cute, nothing's... But when it came to deciding on my style, I just feel like ever since I went down the train of like wedding TikTok, I always see like brides in their dresses. And as a dark-skinned bride, I have been seeing so many beautiful chocolate babes on my timeline and their style of dressing and like their body types. And it's kind of what my body type is, and just the overall theme and vibe that I want for the wedding. I was able to narrow down the style of dress, I guess you could say. So now it's just a matter of trying it on and seeing if it actually works. I do go back and forth between my reception dress. I don't know if I want like a tradition. Part of me does want a traditional dress, like an African traditional dress. But another part of me is like, should I, one, wear my same white dress because hello, I already know it's going to cost a pretty penny. Or two, if I change into another white dress, should it be something that's a little less, I don't say spontaneous, but like not as grand as the ceremony dress, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the 2 things that I'm like going between right now. And I'm just gonna have to wait till I get into the fitting room and see the options that they have and see if I really truly fall in love with something. And even again, my timeline, if I was to get a traditional dress, I would probably need to find a seamstress and a design pretty quickly so that they can start working on it and I can, you know, do alterations and stuff if need be. Okay, so in terms of my bridal party updates, if you watched the vlog, you pretty much know how I asked my bridesmaids, you know, everything that we DIY'd, how it went, what I wore, all that jazz. My best friend Maya, maid of honor, she is planning a bachelorette party and we're supposed to meet sometime this week if I'm not mistaken to go over those plans. I'm super excited because she knows me, and so she's like, girl, if you want to do this, I feel like we should do this. And I'm like, yeah. Originally I would have loved to have gone international for our bachelorette trip, but honestly, truly, I'm just like, we can have a lot of fun here in the States, obviously in a different state outside North Carolina. No shade, no tea. So I can't wait to see what plan she has come up with in terms of the bachelorette trip. I do know the state we're going to, I do know the dates, and I kind of have an idea of the vibes and what we're doing each and every day, which I'm just so excited because it really truly embodies me as a person. It has like adventure, it has chill, it has luxury, but it also has like intentionality and like community involved in the itinerary. So Can't wait for you guys to see that. Bye. But oh yeah, so I can't remember if I told you guys in that bridal party vlog what the bridesmaids will be wearing. But they're gonna be wearing sage green dresses, super cute. And I have them wearing, I think, gold heels and gold accessories. In terms of the hairstyle, I think I have a slick ponytail. I know, everyone's gonna be like, a slick ponytail? Girl, I just feel like that's so chic, so classy, so luxe, so like black love. Like, I don't know, like that's just what I'm leaning towards, and that is what it is. Hello, I know it's my wedding, so I already had a vision in mind, but I also did not want to put such a detriment, I guess, on like my bridesmaids' finances, because yeah, this is like my wedding and you know, it's about me and my fiance. But also I do, like, I'm not deaf-toned. Like, I know people have lives going on and people are entering different areas of life, and I want to be conscious, I guess you could say, of that, and not be tone deaf when it comes to like the things that I am asking for my bridesmaids. But again, they also know what's expected, so yeah, we're here. Okay, we're here. In terms of the groomsmen, I can't remember what they're wearing. Part of me wants to say maybe a black suit, white shirt with like a sage green handkerchief or something to like kind of tie it in. I want to say that's what we decided, but I also don't remember. I have to include it in my next update or something. So as I mentioned previously, we are in the process of starting some DIY projects. And so the one that I'm currently working on is our save the dates. I don't think you guys have seen that video yet. No, so the save the date photo shoot will be in the same video as the engagement photo shoot. That's what it is. So definitely check out that video. Yeah, our save the dates came out so freaking cute. A huge shout out to my girl Viviana. We actually met her at the Lumen House open house because her and her husband now, I think they had their wedding there, she was saying. So they were just like, you know, scouting the scenery out before their big day. And so yeah, it turns out she was a wedding photographer, and she really captured our vision so perfectly, down to a T. It's timeless, it's classy, it's black love. I don't know, it's just I'm just so excited with how everything played out. So we are doing the save the dates and we're doing magnets. I think now with that, the only thing I have to do is like create like our envelope liner, and we have our stamp already. I already did the envelopes and stuff, so yeah, I just have to do the envelope liners, glue that on, and then put the magnets in there and send them out. So yeah, with that, it's pretty much done. Thank you, Jesus. Also probably need to start working on our wedding website pretty soon. That way when the invitations go out, everything will be on the website. And the thing is, I already know there's gonna be some people that's like, X, Y, and Z, I need help with it. Baby, go to the website. I'm not playing with y'all. Like, do you see how much thought I'm putting into everything? I'm not doing this for nothing, okay? I'm not doing this because I'm bored. I'm not bored. I have a lot to do, okay? So please look at the wedding website. So we need to work on that, and then the invitations. On TikTok, a lot of DIY projects saved. So I want to create like a Google Drive with all those inspirations and the items that we will need to create it. Kind of like a price estimate, so that maybe like every month leading up until then, we can like focus on like 2 projects or something, just to kind of get the ball rolling, so that come January, February, we're not like, oh my gosh, we gotta do all this DIY stuff, but we can actually kind of chill a little bit and kind of just, you know, anticipate the big day. The last thing, I kind of touched on this already, is like our decor and our theme. Our colors are white, gold, sage green, and like a tan brown color. It's just gonna look so pretty with our venue, even on like our melanated skin, period. But yeah, I kind of already also went over what our wedding planner Emerald will be doing, like the tablecloths, a lot of the candle lighting, the vases for flowers. Pretty much the floral arrangement is like going to play a huge part in decorating the ceremony and the reception, just to kind of really highlight the space that we are in. Oh yeah, for DIY stuff, I already mentioned invitations, signage. In terms of guest favors, I keep going back and forth between the type of guest favor, if we do any, because apparently, again, based on my research, apparently a lot of people will either throw them away, leave them, or they're just not really appreciated in a sense. Not to say that the guests are unappreciative, but it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like you could have done without this. So I'm trying to think of a party favor, guest favor, that's intentional, that they can use at the wedding but then also as like a keepsake. And I think I already kind of know what that will be. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm trying to be very intentional with everything that I am putting out. I keep saying everything we are putting out. But I'm not gonna hold you. JB is pretty much like a, okay, is that what you're gonna do? Okay. Okay, he does have ideas for him and his groomsmen and like his suits, and you know, he has ideas for the decor as well. So I don't want it to be like I'm doing everything, because I'm not. But I keep saying so I just want to, you know, clarify that. I've done a lot of talking, I know, but I hope that I was able to kind of get you guys up to speed on everything that's going on behind the scenes that we either have not filmed yet or probably did not film throughout the process. I am learning to take it day by day, moment by moment, because I do find myself getting overwhelmed, and not so much having panic attacks, but sometimes it'd be hard for me to breathe. And I feel like that's where me focusing on my physical health and mental health has played a role. So I do try to go to the gym 4 times a week. I try to go on my little hot girl walks. I try to meditate, pray, read, you know, spend time with God. Cleaning has also been a, what do you call it, like a way for me to decompress as well. Trying to find different hobbies and not just be so wedding related. I don't know if you guys can tell, but if you keep with me on Instagram, you know that I'm currently in my like protective hair phase. Not doing my hair has also caused me to not be as stressed, okay, because I don't have to worry about what I have to do to my hair. No, baby, mini twists. I did boho mini twists. What else? I done stitch braids. I'm about to do knotless braids in 2 weeks. Like, I just been doing a lot of protective hairstyles because I just can't be bothered. Like, I really truly can't. For my mental health, I can't be bothered. So even just, I want to say, cutting out doing hair has caused me to be able to woosah as well. On top of having a very loving and supportive community, but having a community that's genuine, God-centered, and loving has helped us a lot throughout this process, with knowing that we're not doing this process alone. Of course we have each other, but we also have family, we have a wedding planner, we have professionals here on our side as well to help guide us throughout the process. And last but certainly not least, like even just me being more in my word and reading more and just being more intentional with spending time with God, it has helped me a lot with being present in the moment and not just feeling stressed and overwhelmed and tired and anxious and just all those negative things. It's helped me to really tune into God and remembering that He is my peace. He'll never leave me, He'll never forsake me. Like, He really truly is with us throughout this whole process, and in the end this whole celebration is going to give Him the praise, honor, and glory, because it's going to show that godly marriages is not dead. Marriage is not dead. God is still blessing marriages. So yes, even more so just knowing that He's there through the whole process and that this wedding will get paid off in Jesus' name. Don't know where the funds finna come from, but He's already working on it. I just can't wait to give you guys more detail on the process, after the process, particularly when it comes to like finances and stuff. I feel like I've talked your head off enough, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot and lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. Also, let me know, what did you find interesting, useful? What are some tips and tricks that you may have as a bride already, like as a wife, or from like having friends and family that have gotten married? You know, definitely let us know. We would love any encouraging words, inspiration that you may have. Yeah, and just really truly letting us know how you like this series. Even just like documenting the process. I know it's gonna not just bless us to be able to look back on the process, but bless you guys with even watching it and maybe inspiring you and just showing you that love is not dead. Like, there is someone out there for you, and just remembering to keep God in the center of every single thing that you do. But yeah, again, I talked your head off, so I will see you in my next video. Bye.